Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Today I'm going to be going over 5 micro-cap meme coins that could boom. These coins are extremely risky. They are all coins with a market cap under 200K, several of them under 100K. And in some instances, the coins need to be CTO'd. They don't have a proper team, but they are very low in terms of market cap, and they could be interesting narrative plays. So the first one is going to be Book of Bitcoin with the ticker BOOB. It is on Ethereum. It is over 1 year old. Its current market cap, I believe, is right now 177K. It is an extreme risk, and it is a beta to the Book of Bitcoin. Now, if you look at the Telegram is active. They don't really have a big team, but you think about the narrative of Book of Ethereum possibly doing great things. There's a lot more lore with that coin. There's no doubt about it in terms of the NFTs, the infrastructure they've built up. But this coin could be, I mean, it's been around for a little bit when you look at least the cycle. This coin could be an interesting beta play in terms of it. You really can't see, unfortunately, the market cap that it reached. I think it reached around a few $1,000,000 in terms of market cap. So back to a high would be like a 25 or a 26x for the Book of Bitcoin. If you compare it to the Book of Ethereum, or really any of these, you've got Book of Binance sitting at 1 million. It's trending up. You have Book of Ethereum sitting at 24.5 million. You have the Book of Memecoin sitting at 123 million. That coin went over a billion. So there's a lot of Book of coins. And so what about Book of Bitcoin? The number one most popular cryptocurrency. It doesn't, it's not a tit for tat, one for one in terms of, oh, because it's Bitcoin, it's going to moon. But you could understand the fact that this coin does have a history. If it gets CTO'd by the right people, there's some big investors. It's an interesting one to look at. 173K in market cap, meaning you need around $1,700 or $1,800 to get 1% of the supply in terms of that one. Looking at the next one, it is the retirement token with the ticker 42069K. It is a branch off of the stock to meme narrative along with the 401K retirement coin. There's a lot of these coins that say, oh, buy this one, it's a retirement. But this one I like because of the ticker, because it's branded like the stock to meme. The stock to meme meta should be really big. It's 8 months old. Right now, its current market cap is extremely low. I think it's right now 66K. It does have a high of around right when it came on, or right when it came out, it was like 2.5, 2.6 million, which is a significant, you can see on here, it's not going to show up because it doesn't have the full price history on CoinGecko. But if you look on Dex Screener, it was definitely over 1.5 million. So considering it's at 66K, this is an interesting one. You could consider this one maybe a trade. It does have a very small community. I know there are people shilling it on X. There's also a bot that updates the price on X every hour, which is kind of cool. And, they have to try and break into the whole stock to meme narrative and be the 401k version of SPX 6900, NASDAQ 420. There's coins like that. And so the VIX 77. And so this one being under 100K, the Telegram is basically dead at this point. These are very risky coins. They are. But this is one to where you invest about $700, you get 1% of the supply. So you get around 10 million coins. So it's an interesting one to look at in terms of that. Moving on to the next one, you can see going on down here, this is Dow Jones 6900. This is on Ethereum. It is 9 months old. It is part of the stock to meme meta. Right now it's sitting at 155K. This is a very risky coin. So this coin recently has seen a pretty significant uptick. All the way back at its lows, it was sitting around 25 or 30K. So just from that, it's done about a 6 or a 7x. You could also say it's very risky. This is a coin that really does not have a very good price history. Even when it initially came out, it was sitting only around 800, 900K. It's not like its all-time high is 2 or 3 million like many of these other stock to meme coins, or 9 or 10 million. But you have to understand the indexes and the way in which it works. And I know there is a variant of this on Solana that's being shielded by a lot of influencers, and they're paying for a bunch of it. And that coin's at around 17 or 18 million, the Doge coin. And there's also a Doge Jones Industrial Average on Solana as well. But think about the Ethereum versions. You have SPX 6900, which goes with the S&P 500. You have NASDAQ 420, which goes with the NASDAQ 100. Now the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you've got the Dow Jones 6900 on Ethereum. These are all on Ethereum. These are the Ethereum coins. This is the big three indexes. And you can't really say tit for tat, this coin's going to do a 1000x or anything like that. They need an actual team. They need to CTO this. That's why these are extreme risks. But if the NASDAQ 420 really starts taking off, maybe it catapults to 100 million. Now there's the meta. Now the metas are going to, now the betas are going to start going. Because you have the king, you have SPX, maybe it goes to 5 or 6 billion. You have NASDAQ 420, maybe it goes to 100, 200 million. Now you're going to start seeing the third, fourth wave. The VIXs are going to do well. This coin, which is part of the big three, it's Dow Jones, it's NASDAQ, it's S&P. This would be part of the big three. This is the Ethereum one. This one's been around for about the same time as the NASDAQ one. They obviously don't have anywhere close to the team. They don't have anywhere close to the artwork. That's why their market cap is only 150K. And NASDAQ 420 is sitting at 7 or 8 million. But you could see this coin doing well as a beta if we really get this narrative. That's really what I'm saying when it comes to it. So you have that one as well. And then you also do have, so this is an interesting one. This is the Fartcoin on Ethereum. So when you look at the different Fartcoin variants, there are two main ones right now. You have the actual Fartcoin, which is 1.3 billion. You have the based Fartcoin, which is sitting at 40 million. And then you have the Ethereum one, which barely anyone knows about, which is sitting at this point all the way down at 124 million. So this coin has just basically been in an accumulation zone for the better part of ever since it came out. It's brand new. It's like a month old. It's interesting because there's a whale that's been buying up virtually all of the supply. And you have to wonder, I mean, if you look it up here, you can see the distribution. It's pretty insane. Fartcoin 124K. Originally, it made it all the way to 1.5, 1.6 million. It's been in a crazy accumulation. It's at kind of the lower end of the accumulation. Look at the holders. You have the number one wallet holding around 39% of the supply. They've been buying and buying and buying and buying and trading. Now, why would they be doing this? What is the point? Could it be to possibly try to silence this token? Maybe if they're a huge whale in the Solana variant and they don't want this coin to get volume. It seems unlikely based off the amount that they have. You'd think maybe you buy about 20% of the supply and the coin would be crushed because you see a coin with, 20% of the supply in one wallet. Nobody's going to buy it anyways. The fact that they've been buying up to 40%, this is intriguing. And this is a coin that was launched in a way in which it did seem like there was a professional team behind it. It seemed like there was a lot of money that went into this in terms of the infrastructure of the project. The whole idea of Truth Terminal, the Ethereum variant. If the based variant is at 40 million, what do you think the Ethereum variant's going to do? I don't know what this coin is going to do. It's very strange that this much supply has been bought up by a random whale that won't talk about it. It's not like this is the creator that owns 38%. They've been buying it. They've acquired this amount of supply. So it's very strange. So that's another one to look at. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's very risky, but it's just interesting that they've done that. And then taking a look at the final one, it is Moggy. And this is one that is basically the Mog variant of China. There really aren't any Mog variants. Like, I don't think there's a based Mog or anything like that. But Moggy is virtually just the Chinese version. This coin has to be CTO'd. It is extremely, extremely, extremely risky. But if Mogcoin goes to what people think it's going to go to, which could be 10 or 20 billion, we know the Chinese Pepe variant, Pepe, it's doing very well. It's had a run. What about the Chinese? I mean, this coin needs to be CTO'd. It's dead. It's completely dead. I think its last tweet was like a year ago. So, and it's just been hovering around 40 to 50K, really even under that. And so the hope is that maybe it'll be rebirthed. Maybe people will see it as a variant. But I mean, when you get a coin that's over a year old, that's sitting at 44K in market cap, the odds of it having a team are very, very, very low. So you think of maybe it's a branch off of Mog. So you've got Moggy. I mean, there's really been no activity on it recently, even with the recent pumps we've seen. So you wonder if somebody decides to CTO it. It would be an attractive project to CTO because of the low market cap combined with how long it's been out. When a project's been out for this long, it's easier to run a successful CTO because people view projects as, if it's been out for 8 or 9 months as more less volatile in terms of the price movements. So this is an interesting one. I mean, the thing is, this one has zero team. There's no CTO team. At least with the other ones, there are certain components of them to where you can see they're kind of active. This one it's got nothing. That's why it's at 44K. I mean, it's at basically no market cap. So it's an interesting one to look at. You also do have the Book of SPX, which I don't even think is active right now, actually. I'm not even sure it's going to show up with trades on here. Yeah, it doesn't even show up. There's some variants of Book of, you know, you can see all the different Book ofs. I mean, this is kind of why I like Book of Ethereum. You know, Book of Binance. Let's see this one. I want to see how active this one is. This coin ran to around 12 million. It recently came out in like February. But I'm guessing this coin is probably pretty active and has a legitimate team. Yeah, it is. So they're going to have to activate the Book of Bitcoin. I wonder if the Book of Bitcoin has a... Does it have a Twitter active right now? Let's see. July 10th, 4 days ago. Yeah, this coin is actually being shilled by that one Whales account, which I think is probably not a good thing. You know what's interesting about that is if you look at this, see they actually have the ticker right here, but I'm sure this ticker is going to show up for a lot of different things. Like, are they referencing the same boob? No, I don't think they are, because there's the boob ticker is going to probably have a lot of different coins. So, but there is one specific like whale account that has a bunch of bot followers. I think it's called Whale Guru or Whale Watcher Guru or something. You know, that account actually shilled this coin, and this coin took a fucking torpedo. It was shilling this coin really hard, this Mars coin. I mean, but I mean, what would you think if you're shilling this Book of Bitcoin? How low can it really go? I mean, the market cap's at 169K. So I don't really think, wait, let's see what the high was with this. Yeah, I mean, it hovered around 2 million. So it hovered around 2 million. Now it did have a low of like 60 or 70K, and it's starting to maybe, you know, run up again. We'll see if this is real or not. I mean, it depends what happens with the cycle and what happens with the narrative. But it's interesting nonetheless. I mean, I would say if you want to make it worthwhile, Book of Bitcoin could be an interesting play at 169K out of all of these. The other one would be the retirement coin. Although the problem with the retirement coin, like if you look at this, there's probably like 30 of these. See the retire, the last play, meme retire. The difference with the 420 69K is they can market it as a stock to meme meta because of the 401k, because of the ticker. They need to go for that and try and get it onto the CoinGecko list with all the stock to meme coins, so it could get more notoriety. But the thing is with Solana, I don't like Solana. I mean, I understand, you know, and I've made some money sometimes off of trades on Solana. I wonder what Grok 5 is at right now. Grok 5 could be a good play. 28K. Yeah, whenever I think Grok 5 from 28K, it's probably going to do it's destined to do at least a 10x from 28K, but it's probably going to take multiple months. Grok 5 is, because when do you think Grok 5 is coming out? Probably maybe the end of the year. Is it really worth it? I actually don't even know if it's worth it. But yeah, those are basically just 5 interesting coins. I mean, you know, some of the coins have no team. I think this coin does have like a loose team, this Book of Bitcoin. And so maybe it'll run. Maybe you can utilize it as a trade, although I don't know. This coin is just weird because so much of the supply is tied up with one person. Are they trying to manipulate the project? Are they trying to maybe, you know, control 40 to 50% of the supply to be able to invest into it and use it to get on trending and ads and stuff? If it's a way, it's just very odd. It's very odd what's happening with this coin, this Ethereum version. And you can see the coin, it's built up really, really nice. I mean, it is. It's like they've got this whole thing to where the launch strategy and they plant a bunch of trees, and I mean, it's, you know, it's a dime a dozen with this type of stuff, but it is an interesting roadmap. But either way, guys, those are just 5 interesting microcap coins. That's going to do it for this video.